YouTube, welcome to another video where I'm not going to really be looking at the camera. I'm sitting in my living room floor, as you can tell, doing my makeup really quickly, and the reason that I'm doing that is because I started things out here, and as things go with kids, that changed. The baby kind of lost her mind. She had to go we had to put her down for a nap real quick. She's asleep now. Then my toddler wanted a snack. We're doing like a snack lunch thing. So she's in the other room eating that right now. And I said, I'm just going to finish my makeup really fast. It is like noon. And I haven't like vlogged the day, but here's what's going on. In the last like bit of time, and one of my vlogs kind of like touched on this, I think, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, basically my toddler got sick the other night, and I know that she had like this little episode where she got very nervous, and so I don't know if it was like her nerves kind of helped her along with it or what, but she ended up running a fever. She got extremely dehydrated, which then led to her not going number 2 for like 4 days or something like that. It's not that I'm trying to get on here and tell all the gory details. I'm just saying it was a very crazy few days. I pretty much just was like, Jesus, take the wheel. We'll just do whatever we can when we can, kind of a thing. I no longer was like trying to orchestrate days and figure out schedules and what I could get done or achieve or accomplish. I was just like, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get her well, and that's like our only focus, really. That's all I'm gonna be doing, is taking care of the girls. We came home this morning. My husband is coming home today, so I am going to post my videos in order that I've done them. This, I don't know if it's a sty or what. So this is the eye that I've been struggling with since I had my infant. Do I have makeup in there? Probably. This came up seemingly out of nowhere. I don't understand what's going on. It's in a place where I don't really apply makeup, but I may have like last week. I don't know. Sty is the best thing that I came up with whenever I was looking things up or whatever. Which it said online that it usually goes away on its own. I just woke up one morning. I think it was the morning after my daughter was sick, and I was even thinking, like, did I contaminate my eye somehow? What did I do? I can't come up with anything, but I'm telling you what, I woke up in the morning and I like went to get the sleep out of my eyes, and it hurt, and I was like, what in the world is that, So there was like this red dot. When I finally looked, there was like this red dot, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what in the world, Oh well, let's just move on. And that's pretty much what I did. And all day I was like, man, it is just like itchy and sore. Just so itchy and sore. And I was trying really not to scratch it much, but I kind of did reach a point, specifically by the next day, where I had to just like drag my finger along it or something. Just like, it was like so itchy. Well, the next morning I woke up and the swelling had trickled down my face, and I'm like, great, that's fantastic. So luckily now, like that night, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm not dealing with this. And I put a potato over it. I was like, I'm just gonna put a potato on it and see if I can get it to go away. So the next morning I got up and the swelling was down. So every day, I think I've had this as maybe like the 4th day. Every day this swelling, since it appeared after I did the potato, this has gone away. But that is still there, and it looks just terrible. So I don't actually have any makeup over that. I am applying makeup, so before anybody comes for me or says anything, listen, I am putting my makeup on because I want to, but I'm not a total silly person, okay? I didn't put any makeup right there. And I'm not wearing my contacts, I'm wearing my glasses, and I'm trying not to disturb it too much. Today, we ended up staying at my mom's because since my daughter got sick and I could get help or whatever with the baby and could kind of tag team, and we were already there anyway when all this struck. It's not like I loaded her up and went to my mom's. We were there. And so we've just kind of been there. So I was a little bit worried about the fish because I did drop in on Friday whenever I had to take my dog to the groomer. I came by, I left the girls with my mom, and I was taking the dog to the groomer, and so I swung in and fed the fish, but I was a little concerned about the fish. The fish is fine. I was gonna come back yesterday, but again, you're already settled in somewhere, and it just kind of is what it is, and my daughter hadn't gone potty since Tuesday. So yesterday it took almost all day to almost all the way to her bedtime again to get her to go number 2. And that's because she had a bellyache, and it's like, well, of course you do. So luckily she's doing much better. We've got hydration back because that's what happened. That's why, because within a matter of like 2 hours, she went from fine to, she had like this nervous episode. It's a long story. It's not like an episode. It's not like she has anything like wrong with her. It's a story. But anyway, she had like this thing that we think kind of contributed to it kicking her into gear. We've kind of been wondering if she's been fighting a little something, but it's strictly off of her actions. It's not like she's exhibiting any symptoms of anything. And then all of a sudden she went from fine to like kind of moaning, and definitely like just reminded me of whenever I was little and sick, or even like real sick as an adult or whatever. It just reminded me of that. I would feel her and she was like boiling hot, and we hadn't left my grandma's yet. We were trying to get us to the point that we could leave my grandma's. I talked about this in another video. If I get them all posted and you go back, you can kind of like line it all up. Anyway, by the time we got her to my mom's, she was running 102-degree fever, and literally went from fine to that like in a matter of not even 2 hours. Then within like another hour or 2 of that, so dehydrated, you should have seen her lips. I'm not even kidding you. The top one, it was awful. Dry, cracked, almost bloody. And that's how fast she dehydrated. And it's not because she was throwing up. Nothing. She just literally went from well to sick and dehydrated. And it was awful. So we were giving her water and popsicles and everything. And then I gave her Tylenol. I mean, it was just this whole thing. So I think the dehydration is what led to the constipation. So we were like on her every day to be drinking her water to get hydrated, which her color came back, her lips are fine, like everything's fine. But she just hadn't gone to the bathroom. And so then finally there's a massage that my husband's cousin told me about. And I utilized that on my infant, and it works. It's just the lower back. You massage the lower back, and you can usually get them to go number 2 when you need them to. So, I mean, if it's severe, obviously, it's going to be an issue. But it usually works on my infant, and it's something that I've just learned. So I thought the other day, yesterday, I'll try that on the toddler, because I wasn't real alarmed at first, because I was like, well, it's not like she was eating a lot when she was sick, and she was really dehydrated, so it's going to be a few days before she goes number 2. But by yesterday, and her belly was really hurting her, I'm like, no, we got to do something. I actually mix prune juice and orange juice and water together, because for whatever reason, she doesn't like it as much now, but there for a while, she actually liked that. And we kind of struggle with constipation with her, you know, and so we call that tummy juice. And, but anyway, she drank it, and we had to wait a few hours. Yeah, honey. Finally, like, we did have to wait a few hours, but finally she went. And so that just felt like, okay, now we can breathe again. Now, like, we're over the hump of all of that stuff that was happening with her. Now I just got to get my eye better. So far, no one else has had anything that she had. So I don't know what it was. I don't know, but it was just crazy. And it just kind of set the rest of the week in a tailspin. If my kids are sick, I'm gonna worry. I'm gonna be checking on them through the night and stuff. Like, that's just me. And so I'm tired and trying to come home and get settled back into home by myself, because my husband's coming home today. You know, after a week like we've had, I feel so not disassociated, but like disconnected from anything like normal or routine, because the last few days, it's like you get sucked into this vortex. So like, I was at my mom's and I'm like, I can't worry about what I have to do at home. I can't be thinking about all the other things that I've had on my mind lately that I want to achieve and get done and blah, blah, blah. My only focus is these girls. And so you do kind of like do this weird checkout thing. And then so today I'm like, okay, we're going home. I have to make myself kick it back into gear. And I get home and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we got here and she's wanting to play with her toys. Her other grandma's going to come and see us today, my husband's mom. My husband's coming home. Like, they'll probably be getting here around the same time. And like, my brain still feels stuck in some sort of limbo. You know what I mean? So I'm having to go, okay, just go with it. Wash your dishes. You know, the toddler has now made a disaster of this room. So I'm going to have to clean it up. And so, I mean, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, okay, you have to kick it back into gear, that you're doing more than just coasting through the day and taking care of the kids. Like, you know, I've been doing that since Wednesday. Just like Chronicles of like a Mother, of what you deal with, but it's just a different situation. Because, I mean, I could have been here by myself with the girls. I could have been. So I'm grateful, you know, that I do have parents that live close, or, you know, that I have resources. I have people that help me. We live close to my parents and my in-laws. So I'm really, really glad. But just like, you know, our schedule is thrown off when my husband leaves anyway. And then something like that happens. And I've noticed that my daughter, anytime my daughter gets sick, my husband is on a job. He's gone. I think she's only been sick when he's been home like one time. And what it was like, he was gone, she got sick, and then he came home and she was like still sick. Like, it was like the first day that she was sick, he was like on the job or coming home or something like that. And then he got here, and then, you know, we did the whole sick kid thing. But usually I do the sick kid thing by myself. And so, you know, by myself or with my mom. You know, my mom, luckily, like I said, I have her. So I don't know. It's just, but it just throws you all off. And I'm enough in the new mom phase still that, you know, my daughter's only 3. And now I have an infant. So now it's the sick kid thing, but it's the sick kid thing while you're juggling another one. I'm still adjusting to that. Because while I feel mostly like I've adjusted to having 2 children, she's been sick a couple times since I've had my daughter, unfortunately. She has. We had a really horrible bout of strep. Oh man, that was awful. That was the worst. That was so bad. And she couldn't shake it either. That's what was really bad. But anyway, you might be dealing with having 2 kids every day, but you're not dealing with one of them being sick every day. So when that comes about and your spouse is gone and you're kind of already thrown off anyway, it's just like, Anyway, he's coming home today. He's literally in the air right now. So I'm just really glad. I'm just really glad we have this week behind us. Because he was gone all week, you know, and he normally it hasn't been gone this long lately. He can be gone longer. He can be gone shorter. It's usually shorter jobs than this, or he'll be home like for stretches in between or whatever. And like he's gonna be home now for, he's gonna be home now for like a while, as far as we know. And I'm like super grateful. So maybe we can settle back into our routine. Maybe it'll be a little warmer weather. We can kind of get into some normalcy, and I just look forward to it. Anyway, I'm sitting here like I don't have a million things to do. The toddler wants a banana. I have dishes to wash. The baby's asleep right now, so that's what I need to be doing. Washing dishes, getting banana, prepping some food probably, and I'll just clean this tidal wave of crap up later, you know. To wash too. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.